Morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're connecting from. You're welcome to today's live stream. If you can hear me, please drop a comment. You're welcome. I feel so excited to have you in today's live stream. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Confirm you can hear me loud and clear and that you can also see my screen. Confirm you can see my screen clearly and you can hear me loud and clear. You're welcome to today's live stream. You're welcome. You're welcome. Confirm you can hear me. I'm waiting for your response. Confirm you can hear me. Confirm you can hear me. Confirm you can hear me. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. It's been a while, Daniel. How are you doing? Daniel, how are you doing? I think this is the first time you're joining this year. Happy New Year. All right, all right. So let's start the class. So we'll start by looking at the calendar for the week. I think we have several major news that will be released this week. Let's check the calendar before we look at the charts. So 25th to 31st. So Monday, Tuesday, no major news. Okay, no major news for the dollar, no major news for any of the currencies, and Tuesday also no major news. And on Wednesday, Australia will be releasing its CPI data by 1:30, and Canada will be releasing its bank statement overnight rate, and also policy reports by 3:45 p.m. Nigerian time, and United States will be releasing its FOMC statement, federal funds rate, and also there will be an FOMC press conference by 8:30 p.m. So we should expect high volatility on Australian dollar pairs, Canadian dollar pairs, and United States dollar pairs on Wednesday. There will be high volatility. If you can afford, avoid trading the dollar pairs on Wednesday, please do. Please do, okay? Wait for this meeting to hold, this FOMC meeting to hold before you take a trade on dollar pairs. Most times when FOMC meetings or conference about to hold, most times price will just go into a range. Most of the dollar pairs will just go into a range, okay? So you might want to wait for this meeting to hold before you take. Okay, so then on Thursday, we have unemployment claims from the United States. That's the only major news on Thursday, and to be released by 2:30 p.m. Nigeria time. And on Friday, CAD will be releasing its gross domestic products data, and also the United States will be releasing its core PPI. So we should expect high volatility on dollar pairs from Wednesday. Okay, so this week there is no news for Great Britain pounds, and there is no news for JPY. So you might want to consider trading GBP JPY would be a good bet to look at Since there are no major news to influence on its price action, you might want to, consider trading GBP, JPY before Wednesday. Okay, before Wednesday, consider trading cross-currency pairs that that don't have the dollar pair or the card pair or the Australian dollar pair, Australian dollar currency on it. You can consider trading those pairs before Wednesday. So that's my take on fundamentals. Okay, so let's go to the chart. So start by analyzing dollar index. We need to know the strength of the dollar. We need to know the direction for dollar before we execute on currency pairs. It's the DXY that determines the direction on currency pairs. Okay. So on dollar index, you can see last week. Let me start with the weekly time frame. Last week was strongly bearish, as you can see, strongly bearish. The liquidity that was residing at this low was swept last week. Okay. And it's also possible for the dollar to go for these lows. Okay, it's also possible for dollars to go for this low. That could be the next draw on liquidity. That could be the next draw on liquidity. Okay. Now, after the formation of this doji candle here, after the formation of this doji candle here, we want to go back to see if a fair value gap was created on a lower time frame. If a fair value gap was created on a lower time frame after the formation of this fair value gap, that could also, the market could also react from that fair value gap. So let's just confirm on the daily or 4-hour time frame. Let's see if there is a fair value gap. Okay, so you can see here, we had this fair value gap. So the market could react from, okay, we have this fair value gap on a day. You can see that the market is currently at Can you guys hear me? I think I'm back. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? I think I'm back now. Can you hear me? I want to assume you guys can hear me now. Okay, so we have a fair value gap, I think, on the 4-hour time frame. Let me confirm that. So right now, dollar is still bearish. Dollar is still bearish. Okay, dollar is still bearish, but I would advise that you wait for today's candle to close before you take a trade on dollar. Okay, I would advise you wait for today's candle to close before you execute on the dollar. Dollar has been bearish for some days. All through last week, dollar was bearish, and you don't want to sell from the current market price. You don't want to sell from the current market price. You want to wait for price to retrace back to a premium area before you consider selling. Okay, you want to wait for price to pull back to a premium area before you consider selling. So let's see how the market will react to this fair value gap. Okay, let's wait to see how the market will react to this fair value gap. Let's go down to, let's say 15 minutes. Okay, 1 hour. There's still a fair value gap. I think it wants to fill on a lower time frame. There's still a fair value gap. I think it wants to fill on a lower time frame. taking too much time. Okay, I think. Okay, so this is 15 minutes. Okay, so on the 15 minutes, you can see we have this fair value gap here on the 15 minutes time frame. And I think price is currently at this. So the fair value gap on the 15 minutes time frame. If we go down to lower time frame, I'm sure we still have a fair value gap here. Okay, so we also have this resistance zone support. So these are the areas we should expect a reversal on the dollar. This zone, this is where we should expect reversal on the dollar. Okay, that's my expectation on the dollar. I would love to see price pull back to a premium area before considering selling. So my bias for the dollar this week is bullish. My bias for the dollar this week is bullish. But right now, the dollar is still bearish. As you can see, we cannot buy the dollar right now. It is still bearish. It is after the close of today's candle, we'll decide if we're to go bullish on the dollar or bearish. Price does not react from this fair value gap. It's likely going to react from this fair value gap or this resistance zone support, which is a demand area. Okay, so that's my take for the dollar. I am very bullish on the dollar. All this gap it has created, it needs to fill these gaps, all these fair value gaps. Okay, so that's my expectation for the dollar this week. Technically, dollar should buy this week. Technically, it should buy. Okay, so let's look at yen basket. Like I said, you might want to consider trading JPY pairs. Yeah, that's GBP JPY because there is no major news for GBP JPY, so you might want to. It means that it will be more stable. It will be more stable. So you can see GBP JPY. Let's start with the weekly time frame. It's been bullish all through last week. Last week, the yen was strongly bullish. Okay, so this week so far, it's been bullish. So last week candle closed as an hammer. It closed as an hammer, and right now I think price is at a premium area. Okay, so you can see price is at, so this price could react from this fair value gap. Price could react from this fair value gap. As you can see on the 4-hour time frame, the daily time frame, you can see that you can see the structure. The structure is still very bearish. If you apply your trend line, you can see that the structure is still very, you can see it's still very bearish. It's still very bearish. The breakout from this trend line is to fill, I'm sure it's to come fill this fair value gap. So this fair value gap has been filled. It has been filled. If today's candle closes bearish, if it closes as a shooting star, I will be looking for sales on JPY. I'll be looking for sales on JPY. If today's candle closes bearish or it closes below the average price, okay, if it closes below its average price, I would sell yen tomorrow. I would sell yen tomorrow. So I'm looking for opportunities to buy GBP JPY. Okay, I'm looking for opportunity to buy GBP JPY. But before I buy GBP JPY, yen has to be bearish. Yen has to be bearish. And as you can see on the charts now, yen is still bullish. So we cannot jump in and start selling. And you can see where the buy started from. If you didn't buy from this point, it wouldn't make sense to buy from this point. It has done over 200 pips from this point to this point. That's over 300 from this point to this point. So if you didn't buy at this point, why would you want to buy at this point? And now price is at a premium area. Okay, so some would say, okay, we had a shift in market structure at this point, right? This was the most recent lower high, and there was a shift in market structure. Now, after the shift in market structure, price is expected to pull back to a discount area. Price is expected to pull back to a discount area, and the discount area will be this fair value gap. So we'd love to see price pull back. If at all yen will continue buying after this shift in market structure here, it should pull back to fill this fair value gap, which is at the discount area before buy. So if I'm selling yen, my first target for yen will be this fair value gap. I hope that is clear. If there's any pair you want me to analyze, you have any question, let me know in the comment section. If there's any pair you want me to analyze, let me know in the comment section. So let's go to the chart. For those of you who have this signal generator software, has already given you the direction for the day, for the week. So if you have this software, I don't think there's any reason for you to be attending this live session, because it has done the analysis and it has shown you the direction. All you have to do is just execute, okay? Execute. So let's start with GBP USD. So let's just look at Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand is set for buy. You can see the bias is bullish and price is at discount. Euro New Zealand is set for buy. If this candle closes bullish, you should take the risk buying Euro New Zealand. If Euro New Zealand is your preferred pair, okay? So like I told you guys, before you buy, wait for price to drop at least. We have the ATR value, which is 57.2, and the daily ATR to be 114.3. For the daily ATR to be 114.3, that tells you that Euro New Zealand will be very volatile. It tells you that Euro New Zealand will be very volatile. If you've been trading Euro New Zealand, you know Euro New Zealand is a volatile pair. So when the daily average range is above 80 pips, you should expect high volatility on that pair. Okay, you should expect high volatility on that pair. So that's what the daily ATR indicates. This tells you that there will be high volatility on Euro New Zealand. And when there's volatility, when an instrument is volatile, it gives you opportunity to make good profit. And at the same time, it comes with risk. So you need to be good at managing risk to be able to take advantage of that volatility. Okay, so 114 and 57. Like I said, before you buy, ensure that price does a pullback between 57 and 114 pips. And if you look at the chart today, from this high, where price started dropping to this point, you can see it has done, you can see 102 pips. 102 pips, just like 12 pips to hit the daily average rate value. A lot of people would have jumped in to buy after the formation of this candle. You can see the difference. Those who have jumped in to buy from this point, they will be in a drawdown of close to 100 pips. Drawdown, you can see. For those of you who waited for this pullback to occur, your risk, if you're going to take this trade right now, your stop loss should be the low of this candle, which is less than, you can see, less than 50, let's say 60 pips risk, 60 pips, and your first target will be at this point. This should be your first target. You can see. So if this candle closes bullish, I have been taking a buy on Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand is one of the pairs I have in my list this week. Euro. There's no news for Euro. There's no news for New Zealand. So you can see the reason why I'm considering trading Euro New Zealand. I'll be considering trading USD pairs maybe on Thursday. If I'm going to even trade USD pairs, my risk on USD pairs will be very low. If I'm going to trade USD pairs before FOMC meeting, my risk will be very low. Okay, so that's it for Euro New Zealand. Please give the video a thumbs up if you haven't done that. Give the video a thumbs up, and if it's your first time joining the live stream, do subscribe to the channel so that anytime I come on live, you get notified by YouTube. Okay, so let's look at GBP USD. GBP USD have given us the bias for the week. Okay, price is currently at premium. A lot of people are buying GBP USD at the moment, and I don't think that is a wise move. I don't think that is a wise move. Buying GBP USD at the current market price, even if GBP USD would do 1,000 pips from the current market price, I don't think it will be wise for one to buy from the current market price. Yeah, because this is where the buy started from. This is where the buy started from. This signal it gave us here to buy, this bullish signal it gave us here started from this point. So if you didn't buy from this point, why would you want to buy from this point? Why would you want to buy at a premium price? Okay, so price is currently at a premium area. So at premium, we do not buy at premium. We do not buy at premium. We sell at premium. So price is at premium now. So all you need to do is wait for the daily bias to change to bearish. Once this bias changes to bearish, this premium is not going to change. It remains the same. It will remain the same. It's not going to change. What is going to change is this bullish bias. So if the daily candle closes bearish, this bias will change from bullish to bearish. Once it changes to bearish, that is the right time to sell. That is the right time to sell. Never sell never buy at premium. Never buy at premium. Once you see that price is at a premium, you expect price to retrace. That's what it means. You expect price to do what? To retrace. Okay, so don't buy. This week I'm looking for sell on GBP US. This is to change from bullish to bearish. Just one trade or two trade on GBP USD and like 80 to 100 pips. 80 to 100 pips. Okay, same thing for Euro USD. Price is at a premium. Bias is bullish. So at premium, we do not buy. We are looking for sales. We are looking for sales. So all we need to do is wait for this bias to change from bullish to bearish. Once this changes, that break. Sorry for that break. Don't take the trade. I think I'm back now. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? Okay, so let's move on. So that's it for Euro USD. Looking for sell opportunity on Euro USD this week. I have no interest selling, buying Euro USD this week. I'm looking for sell opportunity. I hope that is clear. USD JPY, like I said, I'm looking for buys on USD JPY and GBP JPY. But as you can see, the trend is bearish. Okay, trend is bearish. Price is at premium. So USD JPY is still bearish. USD JPY is still bearish. But as you can see, look at where the sell started from. This sell started from this point. This is where one should have entered sell on USD JPY. This is where you should have entered sell. If you had entered sell from this point, you would have made over 400 and something pips. That was on Friday. Between Friday and today, you would have made over 400 and something pips if you had sold GBP or USD JPY from this point. You can see over 400 and something. So if you didn't sell from this point, why would you want to sell at this point? Why would you want to sell at this point? So as far as I'm concerned, price is at discount. At the end of today's market, I'm sure this zone is going to change from bearish to this zone is going to change from premium to discount, and this bias is most likely, depending on how the daily candle close, is most likely going to change to bullish. Once this changes to bullish and the price zone changes to discount, that will be the right time to buy. That will be the right time to buy. I hope that is clear. Okay. The network seems not to be stable. Sorry for the breaks. So let's look at gold. Gold did wonders last week, Friday. Did wonders last week, Friday. The same way it's blessed some people was the same way it blew some person's accounts. Some persons made so much profit on gold last Friday, and some people blew their accounts trading gold last Friday. So let's look at gold. So you can see gold is bullish, but price is at premium. Price is at premium. At premium, you do not buy. You do not buy at premium. See where the buy started from. This is where the buy started from. The buy started from this point, and it has done over 6,600 pips. Over 6,600 pips. If you didn't buy from this point, tell me why you want to buy from this point. If you miss this first move, you had another opportunity to buy after this retracement, this reversal here. This is a second opportunity. If you miss this opportunity, tell me why you want to buy from this point. The only reason to buy from this point will be form of fear of missing out. You've already missed this move. You've already missed this move. If you want to buy, you want to wait for a strong reversal. Wait for a strong reversal on gold before you buy. Wait for gold to pull back to a discount area. Wait for price to pull back to a discount area before you buy gold. Right now, the best setup to look out for is a sell. If the daily candle closes bearish, you should be considering selling gold and not buy. If you insist on buying gold because the long-term trend is bullish, wait for a price to pull back to discount before you buy. Buying at the current market price is at a very high risk. Very high risk. Very high risk. Is that clear? Any question? Any question? On WhatsApp, if you're interested in getting the software, contact me on WhatsApp. Okay, by next month, by end of this month, the price is going to change. Okay, the price is going to change. So get it now that it's cheap, affordable. Get it now that it's cheap and affordable. So if you're interested in getting the software, just send me a message on WhatsApp. Once more, I want to appreciate you all for your participation, and I wish you all a profitable trading day.